Yes, indeed, Music and I. Back then, he was known as Havok Mann. I know him as Mario Gray, but the world is about to know him as something else.
Havii Gray.
Havii Gray. Havii Gray. Havii Gray.
Yeah.
Music and I. Tell us about this phase of your life, man. Because we know you've repackaged and you've come again.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know about the phase of your music career during this span with this song right here.
Like most teenagers growing up in Cayman, I was in a very experimental stage of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana use was something that was a big critical part of me in my creative element in terms of making music. Now, the stigma behind the drug and all of that allowed me to be seen and put into this box of a terrible youth or somebody who was leading my peers astray. But all throughout that time, when that particular addiction, and I can call it that now, that was because it was a big part of how I created music. All throughout that time, I still felt something pulling me upwards, and that was the love of Almighty God. He was always there telling me, you're doing these things, but you are crediting your talent towards this. But I want you to know that it is me who lives inside of you that is bringing out this creative juice and this wonderful music that you're hearing. So when you're hearing, when Miguel na like me, I just music and I, and when the pagans them a fight me, I just music and I, smoking pon the agrid and me sipping, it's like it wants to turn into something else. You can hear the little boy screaming inside me saying, no, I'm better than this. But still, that's the only way I could grab the ears of the masses, by telling them my sins, my flaws. This is what I do, and I know that a lot of us out there do this as well. So that's the stage I was at when I created Music and I.
That simply means that people who are out there who went through the phase that you went through, they can remove themselves from that phase.
Absolutely.
If you did it, they can do it as well.
Absolutely.
Love it, man. Love it. Mario Gray, your career.
Yes.
Did you always want to be a musician?
Oh my, yes.
Or did,
always.
Versus the career that you had before?
Well, the career I had before, everybody knows me as Mario Gray, Cayman 27's Mario Gray. At that time, when I was a journalist, but that wasn't the beginning. That was far from the beginning. The beginning was as a little boy watching Larry King live, with my dad every single evening, watching the Suspenders, watching how fly he was and how, he wasn't a tacky dresser, but also he was a man of the people. And in terms of not picking any sides, he was always the pure mediator in my eyes. So I wanted to be like Larry King so bad, but it's so funny. I wanted to be like Larry King and Shabba Ranks at the same time, because I was born in 91 and I'm turning on TV and hearing Shabba saying he's the lover man. And my daddy always playing music around me and saying, this was his heroes. He was always attributing these artists as his heroes. So I listened to my dad show love for these guys. And of course, like any young boy, you want to impress your father.
Very much so.
But then I realized it wasn't just his love. It was also my love as well. I couldn't go throughout the day without listening to Vegas, without listening to Vibes Cartel, Bounty Killer. And those guys took hold of me. I heard something else that I knew other people did not hear.
And you know something? You have lived both parts of those dreams, because
Absolutely.
you did become, you were working on television.
Absolutely.
A journalist, and you are embarking on a musical career right now, and you've got music out there that people can sing along to.
Absolutely.
And can find rescue in, and that is the sure bet of living a dream. Many out there who aspire to do so has not done it, but you have done it. So others are looking at you and they're hearing you this afternoon and hearing the positive vibes that are coming out of you.
Right.
And they're saying, this man is the real thing, the real deal.
Right.
Now, why should I follow Mario Gray, aka Havii?
I mean, I would never tell anyone to follow me.
That's
I would
what
tell,
I wanted to hear.
I would tell you to just do what everybody else does. We are fans of each other. We look at each other, and what we do is we tend to pick out the things of a person that we want to keep. And then we tend to shun the other things, their flaws, and say, no, I don't want to keep that though. But if we want to truly accept somebody, we have to accept the totality of the person, you know, the flaws and the great things that makes that human being who they are. You have to accept the whole package. So don't follow me, guys, but watch my life, because the Lord is watching my life. Everybody is watching you also. What do you want them to see when they watch you? What do you want them to feel? I'm a big person on feelings. You know, I'm an emotional guy. I'm never swayed by the things I see mostly, but the things I feel. So, you know, this stage of my life that I'm right now, I like to tell people, like we joked when I walked in here earlier, I said, look, Mario Gray is a character I created. It was just another character I created. You would look at me and say, no, you're crazy.
Even though mom and dad gave you the name.
Right, but it's just a character I created, because as human beings, we're so addicted to labels. We're addicted to, because that's how we make sense of this world. I am a soul occupying this world. I was always here before my, you know, awareness of my existence. That is my true belief, because that voice that I hear in my mind, when I close my eyes, I knew that voice was always there. I know that. So where does that come from? My spirit, my soul was always here. So me being aware of that now and saying, okay, let us call that soul Mario Gray. That soul was born in Jamaica, so let's call him a Jamaican. That soul was raised in the Cayman Islands, so let's say he was Caymanian raised. You see what I'm saying? These are the things that we do as human beings. We're addicted to simplicity. However, as time goes on, we are trying to stray away from simplicity. We're trying to make things more complex. You know, I am the best artist now because my videos look more complicated or my lyrics sound more complicated. No, Christ did it best. Everything he did was through simplicity. The parables was the greatest way a man could ever change a person's life.
This man is deep, and I got to shake your hands live on the air, man. You came in here as a younging. In Radio Cayman, you were an intern way back in the days.
15 years old.
15 years old. At 15 years old, and to see what you've grown into, and to hear, you know, the product that you've given to me, to relate to the listeners on the radio, and for me to ask questions, to see what kind of answers are going to come out of your mouth, and then you're successful with the answers, dude, you are it. Now let's talk about, you know, this new project that you're doing.
Resurrection.
Resurrection. The song that we're playing right now,
Silent Takeover,
is part of the project. And excuse me for calling you Mario, but Mario.
Yes, boss.
Man, when you gave me the song, I was, is this the Mario that came in here at the age 15?
Now look, that Mario that came in here at age 15, he always had this in him. But, you know, thanks to great men like, you know, Christian Sakou, thanks to great men like Dr. Frank McField, you know, these are guys that inspired me like I can't even express how much these guys mean to me. You know, I remember the first time sitting down speaking with Dr. Frank, and he would tell me about, you know, the pride of being a black man, and who we are as a people, and where we're going, and what that means to me as a young black boy. You know, we tend to differentiate ourselves from positivity based on how we look, and that's not by coincidence. So, you know, we need mentorship. You know, every child has greatness in them, from that same 15-year-old boy that you saw when I came in here.
Potential, yeah.
Absolutely, but mentorship, Joel, is critical, you know, in terms of folding that cocoon into the butterfly.
All right, man. Tell us about this project, though. Silent Takeover, Lyrical Prophecy, Nature. Tell us about this project. You know, how could people actually listen to these stuff? How can they, you know, are you selling music, or are you just...
I am not.
Or is it a ministry?
It's a ministry. Yeah. It's absolutely a ministry. You know, these songs, I could sell them for as much as I want. I know that. I have international fans emailing me every single day, begging me to make this available for purchase, telling me they'll pay any amount of money to get it. And I'm saying, yeah, I went to bed one night and I said, this is not right, Lord. I said, this is your work. This is for our generation. I had to be here. Somebody had to rise up and have a different message. Not saying that there are not others out there like me. There are many, you know. And to those who don't have the opportunity to sit with a Joel right now, I'm praying for you, because your time will also come. You get me? There was a lot of prayers that went into this, a lot of fasting which went into this, a lot of sacrifice which went into this, you know. And resurrection is all about a removal from the past, a removal from the past life. That's why I gave you my sins on Home Improvement, my first mixtape, to show you that I have to improve my home. You see that? Which is the body, the temple. That's what it meant. while also playing on the notion that Cayman as a home needed to be improved musically.
Yes,
I was playing onto that.
You need to improve your home in order to improve others. Others, who are going through what they're going through. But you can't be a minister and your life is shady.
Exactly.
But you gotta have a clean.
Right. So that's why resurrection represents that. A turn away from the old.
The old dead, the new has begun, and let's let the listeners right now take a listen to this track right here, because this is a deep track. This is a deep track, man.
Thank you.
Listen, the interview right now has given me a different perspective of you, right? Hearing the words that you're conveying right now, and I'm even seeing my coworker over there, and he's giving me the thumbs up, listening to the interview. So let's let the listeners right now, just in case they haven't taken a listen to any of your music, the new music as yet.
Right.
Let's give them a chance right now to hear our lyrical, or is it silent takeover?
Hey, let them hear lyrical prophecy. Why not?
Well,
Or you want
let me come and hear a little piece of this one first, man. Huh?
Yeah, man, all right.
Here we go. The man is in the studio, and he is going to be massive. No doubt about that one. Take a listen, K-Man. He's your own.
5'10". Could have been anything, but became a lyricist. You can do what you do over that side. We'll keep it like this. The music was loud, the takeover silent. I move the crowd like taxi from Orchard to Milan. These thoughts like cigarettes, I don't want to try them. Some sheep are goat, some goat are sheep. Every cop have a crime friend. I don't tweak while you tweak. When the bars need tweaking, the ambient sound from the ghetto was clicking. Bodies drugging on the floor, and the hammer knocking, then clicking. The internet saved the hood, no more mouses clicking. It's a different smell when a dead person reeking. That's not a dog, protect my dogs from all these weaklings. Kirky get job while rich people stealing. Mac put the wig on the GAB glass ceiling. Them stone down the glass house. When you talk the real things, I'm frank like the duck, stern like Ezod when a yard is speaking. My words take toll, by the strong bowl and the hungry eating. No do like savings, labor control, so keep on working. What you get don't reflect what you're generating. What you get don't reflect what you should be earning. Young whites love the blacks, old whites they hate it. 90s baby, the generation 18. Perfect love dash with fear, you're welcome my darlings. Some old and wise, while the rest of us young and exciting. The music was loud.
Man, I feel bad just fading this track right here, man. I really feel bad just fading, because somebody's gonna be missing some sort of message.
That's
if you
true.
know what I mean, man.
Right.
Tell us about the. Is it an EP? What is it? I understand it's a 2-set.
Yes, it's a 2-disc
Project.
mixtape, right? Easily could have been an EP. However, I did use beats that weren't mine. I'm not ashamed of saying that, because
As long as you give some love to whoever made the beat.
of course, But please shout out Young Kush. He is our very own as well. Caymanian as well, resides in Northside. Everybody knows Young Kush, one of the best producers in Cayman. Please shout out Sion Richardson as well, Black Gold Productions. Those two guys are very much responsible for helping me on my journey musically. Those guys are amazing producers. Please, Cayman, make sure you pay attention to those guys.
Big up. So the beat that we're listening to right now.
Right, this is Young Kush's production.
Young Kush
Yes.
production. Listen, Cayman Islands, we got to be proud of our talents. We got
Absolutely.
so much talents out there. If it's not the lyric, it's the beat. I mean, so big up to all who assisted you in this project. Now, listen. Lyrical prophecy. Tell us where that song came from, man.
Oh my, I was at a sunken place, a broken place, a place where I said to myself, look, I need somebody to talk to. And I said, the only person that I can speak to is me. And it was the weirdest place I've ever came to in my life. I was craving for some form of love and feel like somebody meant what they were saying to me. And I have great parents. I have great friends. Like Freddie over there is my best friend right now. Freddie Diaz, shout out to Freddie. But I just needed somebody who understood me. And the only person who could understand was God. So what he did was he said, look, close your eyes right now and just don't think about anything. And to anybody out there right now, let me tell you, that's the hardest thing for us to do as human beings, to think about absolutely nothing. But I guarantee you, if you practice it, you will find healing. And what happened to me was he just took over me and he gave me this prophecy, and that's what you're going to play right now.
All right, folks, just take. Now we're not going to play the whole song, right?
Okay.
because of time, right?
Right,
but we just want people to hear, you know, where you're coming from
Sure.
in terms of the music. Let's take a listen to this one right now. Simply called, yes. What is the title?
Lyrical prophecy.
Lyrical. Listen, folks. This is K-Man. This is Prophecy. This is a young man. And this is worth, of course, supporting.
Could always use one more. I'ma be here for a while. Lock back the front door. I said, okay, opportunity. You're a bossy one for sure. It's funny how you always reach after oppression leave my door. And after countless sweat was lost from my poor. Me never trick your opportunity. Me know you're from my poor. Then I became wise and realized I was never poor. That kept you coming back the more my confidence soar.
Me now gotta tell you who forgot to. Control is an illusion. Some people left without a chance and now the world is in confusion.
Why show off my wordplay? I the knowledge that you crave. She wearing long pants, but that blouse misbehave. Sometimes to capture opportunity, you have to step away. Believe in yourself, the chips fall where I stay. Some people say words don't mean nothing. The Father have something to say. I pray I never become pressured by the world around me. The want you sound cool, by the night get what you feel. Lyrical prophecy, this song represents my ordeal. Bless mama hands for the boy chicken, ton corn meal. My meals came from opportunity, mama dream work to achieve. Without opportunity, the ants won't eat. As the birds always find food to hide in the tree. So surely, Father God, I know you care about me. Our days are numbered until eternity. Opportunity stand and wait at my front door. I make sure I'm well dressed to knock it dead on the floor. It never came because I wait, I had to do a lot more. You never great when you stay, so she had to explore. I beg you give me car trouble over girl troubles. When nothing I run, that's opportunity for hustle. 3 scores plus 10, I pray your opportunity double. My blessings took time, the fake ones came sudden.
Havii. Good afternoon, Cayman Islands. If you just turned your radio on, man, we have the Lyrical Prophecy in studio right now. We talk about Mr. Havii. I would prefer have car trouble than girls trouble any day. Love that line right there, man. Love that line right there.
Yeah.
Today is Martin Luther King's Day.
Oh, yes. Yes.
What kind of shape did Martin Luther put you in?
Well, I remember the first time I read his letter to Birmingham jail. Well, his letter from Birmingham jail. I mean, this was when, because everybody, as a black person, we grew up thinking, especially as young black men, oh, I love Martin Luther King, but you don't really know anything about him. But that one piece of reading was enough for me. And long story short, this is one quote I could never forget. He said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And when I read that in his letter and I saw that he was writing this letter to clergymen, other pastors who also had the same profession as him, but these pastors still didn't feel the love that he needed. He was all about silent protests and non-violent protests. And here is a man that just could not find common favor with other people who were like him. So it just goes to show that, sometimes you have to be crazy enough. You have to be willing to be alone in order to affect change. And I'll lastly say this. It's unfortunate that we remember him, based on his death. And unfortunately, we don't focus on where we are today, because without him, you see me, we wouldn't be here. The civil rights movements and all of that. So people should really not focus on the death of Martin Luther King, but focus on these freedoms that we have now and understand that far exceeds, his demise.
Talk to the young people right now, Mario. Again, you've been there, you've done that. Good, bad. But before we went on the mic, we spoke about talking to the young people of the Cayman Islands. But say a word right now, man. To the young people right now that will make a difference.
Love somebody. You see, forgiveness, it's something that is killing us right now as an island. I have friends in prison right now. I have so much love for them. And these guys are great guys. You know, you can't go through Northwood right now and find one person who is evil. I don't care what they have done. Every man is just a man. Every woman is just a woman. And what is affecting us is we can't feel that we have any hope of redemption. That is what allows sin and murders and stealings to continue. This feeling that we have no hope of redemption. But I tell you, we have the keys to our own redemption. All we have to do is let go of whoever we're hating, even if it's ourselves. Love is the answer, my brothers and sisters. Trust me, it sounds simple, but just practice it. And remember, clear our minds by thinking about absolutely nothing. We have too much distractions. We have too much people we're trying to impress. We have too much people we're trying not to impress. You know what I'm saying? In other words, we need to start focusing a little bit more on ourselves.
Heavy messages. Thank you very much for that, man. Nature. Let's talk about Nature right now. Another song from the project.
Yes.
Sort of slipping out of time right now, but tell us about Nature right now.
I mean, for me, I would say it's one of the best songs I've ever created. This is me coming to grips that beauty to me is not tall buildings and skyscrapers, but beauty to me is large green fields and things that, you know, Jesus and God himself already created. You know, nature, things that will come here that find us fulfillment. So this was my realization of that, you know. I love nature. You know, your pictures suck, so I gaze at the sky and blush. You know, that's what that line mean. You know, so we love the things that we create, but what about the things that we already came here and saw? I like to say life is a hamster wheel. You know, where the wheel was already spinning, and then we just drop on the wheel. You get me? We didn't create the wheel; it was already spinning, and then we just jump on it, and then we just run with it, and that's what life is.
Havii, Nature. Who's doing the vocals on this one?
Oh, this is me. This is all me.
You're doing
this
guy is so creative. I'm thinking it was somebody else that was doing the vocals. Let's take a listen right now. Nature.
Me too, but why does it matter if your building's getting fatter, but your kids on your organs really not knowing proper? Some improper, stare in the eyes and tell the truth without the prompter. When I was growing up, I thought the country owned Nova Scotia. Now that I'm kinda grown up, I think the banks own Jamaica. For highways we traded out lush acres. Why? Gave up on the farms and gave into the Asians. I'm like, did these people pre social studies from day one? I'm Michael Manley's great son. There you go, the great debate done. Oh, 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 nature every time. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 I'm choosing nature every time. Every time. Oh, 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 nature every time. Natural breezes. Oh, 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 think it's time that we unwind.
Positive Monday, Nature, running out of time, but listen, the impact stays with us. This interview this afternoon, no doubt about it, man, no doubt about it. Tell us about the project one more time, and how can people hear this project, and what is your aspiration beyond the project?
My aspiration is, I'm not just a lyricist, I'm not just a musician, I'm a leader of men and women, and my time will come. Believe me, just don't forget this day, because I won't. Joel, many thanks to you, my brother. Ever since I was 15 years old, you have been a key component in my life. Even Dean, who is standing right in here right now, the engineer. All you guys, I love all you guys. Silver Fox, Miss Norma McField. Thank you to Miss Paulette Connolly Bailey. All these people are special people in my lives, because you all gave me an opportunity as a young man, and here I am years later getting to speak about my projects. And guys, this is not the end for me. This is my second ever mixtape, and I have so much more music to give. I always joke about how Biggie is the greatest, but Biggie only have 2 albums. So it's not just about music for me. It's all about leading my people, leading my generation, and not with words but with actions.
The project now?
The project, guys, as simple as you can ever get it. SoundCloud. I'm not gonna make it more complicated. I embrace simplicity. So if you want to hear Havok Mann music, go to soundcloud.com. Check out my Twitter. I'm not gonna broadcast my Twitter. I'm gonna see who really wants to find me. If gonna see it, I'm let them Google it.
Google? Come on, that's too much work, man.
What, make it easy for them? Okay.
Make it quite easy, man.
At HAVOK_MANN.
All right.
Okay, Havok Mann. Yeah.
Havok Mann.
Right.
I
that's the old name. It's
Oh,
Havok
I was
now.
wondering
Yes,
'cause
I'm
you-
Havok Gray.
Okay.
The Havok days are done, guys. But remember the label. I have to shout out to our personal label. Right now being run with myself and Kid Sativa, Francisco Hernandez, another local Caymanian artist. Look out for him. We are known as Havok Squad Crew of Intellects. Sativa right now, he is a law student who is doing his masters. I'm a journalism student, so we're putting together our intellect, to make sense of this little world of ours.
I love it, man. I love it. Mario, one more time. This is the second time I'm shaking your hand on the interview. Maintain what you're doing. You have impressed me. I mean, I've known this guy way before even putting him on the mic, but I got a different perspective on the mic this afternoon. And keep doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring, those young people out there.
Thank you, sir.
Like you said, you've been there, you've done that. Many that you've done it with are still out there, doing their thing. And I'm hoping that, even listening to this interview this afternoon, they will be converted.
Absolutely.
So leave a final message right now to your people here in the Cayman Islands.
Love.
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 Simple
Love.
as that. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
Much success up and coming. This is the man, Mario Gray, aka Havii, aka, was known as Havok Mann. This one's called Nature, guiding us into the 4 o'clock hour.
Think it's time that we unwind. Okay, I like the balls, but look behind that, the sunset hit off the palms. The rum and noodles, man, college days, we call this rums.